Hey everyone, no respawns here. Hope you're having a grand week. So this is going to be a bit of a shorter video, as this is a small build around the Watchpost prefab. I wanted to make something that kind of utilizes my kind of unique scrappy look, but also kind of makes the prefab the main focus point, because I think it's a really cool one. However, this one will definitely turn up again, I think, in my future builds, because of the fact that it's quite small at the base, and therefore I can kind of tack it on an existing structure. So as you can see, we're in the Toxic Valley, so we're just kind of northwest of the Pioneer Scout Camp. I really like this area quite a bit. I built here quite a few times, actually. It's a nice little area. It comes with this wee NPC over here. He doesn't shut up, so just as an FYI. I think it randomizes which one you get. This one was very talkative, so I had to kind of turn all the voices off. So just so you're aware, I'm actually recording this narration over the top of pre-recorded footage I did over the weekend, because currently I'm in America for a work trip, and I wanted to make sure I had some videos to kind of stagger out, so that's why my little camera is doing things that maybe is not matching what I'm doing, so just as an FYI. So anyway, I really like this build, and I really like the prefab. I do have two issues with it. The first one is that the tree itself is quite unique looking, and therefore it's going to look a little bit out of place in, you know, so it suits the Toxic Valley, and it might suit the Maya, but the ash heap and the forest, I just think it might look a little bit out of place. But that might be really nitpicking, as whether that kind of bothers you as the way it bothers me. Also the doorway, as you'll see when I get up to the top, you won't be able to actually, you can put a door on it, but when it opens out, it's going to actually kind of barely have room to move. It's quite annoying that we can't actually put that curtain doorway I think we got on the Atom Store on many of the prefabs. You can put it on normal structures, but not the prefab. It's a bit irritating. Also, I really want these stairs, so Bethesda, if you could give us these stairs. I remember them from Fallout 4. Speaking of Fallout 4, for those of you who are eagle-eyed will notice that this is actually the prefab from Fallout 4 that's just been glued onto a tree, which just made me giggle a little bit. It's like literally one of the wooden prefabs, and they've just stuck it on. You could call them lazy, but it's nice that they're actually reusing this one. It's actually quite a nice scrappy metal one. I hope they add that as well, a slightly bigger one. Interesting. So interior, I really like. I've mentioned this a million times. I mentioned again, I actually really prefer the smaller prefabs, where I can make something quite kind of cozy and a little bit maybe claustrophobic, but then I live in London, so I'm used to having tiny closet rooms. But I think it's really cool. I like what I did with the bed there, actually. And I do like my little curtain door, to be honest, because it does suit the style of the structure. It would just be nice to actually have the actual curtain door, rather than, you know, curtains. You may notice what I'm kind of addressing here is the fact is that because the walls are quite textured, you are going to struggle with putting certain things. And I put that sports sign up as a kind of demonstration, but you can see the wood is clipping through. So you will, if you're using decorations, you're going to want to use your kind of 3D stuff like I've got up here. But a few areas like at the back, it's a little bit easier to manage. So yeah, I really like this prefab a lot. It just has a nice vibe to it. To be fair, like, even though I'm a bit miffed about the door, I think Bethesda have been putting a lot more effort into their prefabs. Recently, I haven't had any that have had any like weird issues. Like back in the day, there was that communist bunker one where you couldn't actually put stuff on the floor because it was floating, and then the interior was circular, which you could put anything on the walls. It was a bit shit. Whereas this one and the last few, they've just kind of really knocked them out of the park. Anywho, hope this gave you a few ideas and maybe a lot of inspiration on how you can use this in your own builds. As mentioned, I am going to probably utilize this quite a lot, I think, because of the fact that it's just quite, I think the base might have some clipping issues where you can't get it too close to things, but I imagine I can finagle it a bit, so I can. So I think I'm going to utilize this in other structures and other camps, because I think it'll look quite cool. Anywho, as always, follow me on Twitter at norespawns. If you want to see what I'm up to in America, I'm posting a fair bit-ish on Instagram, so follow me on Instagram at norespawns. I'm currently in Orlando, and to be frank, Orlando is not a very photogenic city. It's mostly just hotels and food places, so not many pictures for there. However, I'm going to be in Asheville, North Carolina over the weekend, so there'll be beautiful mountains and all that jazz. So that'll be a bit much more interesting if you want to see me post pictures of mountains just before I get knocked over by a bear, or just generally hurl myself off in a fit of ennui. Anywho, I'm good. So anywho, yeah, I'm going to have another video up later in the week, maybe on the weekend, because I've actually pre-recorded, already done and finished a Elden Ring video, because I've been playing that recently. A little bit out of the side there, because I know it's been out for a while. However, I've now got a perfect guide on how to defeat the Grafted Scion tutorial boss on any class that doesn't require much skill, just patience and no panicking. So that'll be up in a few days. But anyway, I love you all, and you enjoy the rest of your week. You take care.